I told you it sounds pretty simple, but again, that took us a lot of hard work to get to that point. From that point, we progressed on to some more challenging things, and so we're going to play Good King Wenceslas. And this piece, I think, is kind of exciting to show to you because this will feature each group of the band, so you can hear each group individually. So, Good King Wenceslas. So from here we're going to get on to some even more challenging music. We're going to play two pieces for you now. And I apologize because the first one's not on your program. Jolly Old St. Nicholas is a little more challenging because this one is our first piece that we really played, or one of our first pieces that was actually a duet, two separate parts that sounded completely different from each other. And putting two separate parts together is really challenging when you're first learning how to play an instrument. The second one we're going to play, Sweetly Sings the Donkey, which I love the name because donkeys don't sing very sweetly, from my experience. Sweetly Sings the Donkey is a round, and that's also kind of a challenge for kids to put together when they're first learning their instruments. Jolly Old St. Nicholas. So you can probably tell already that their portion of the concert for this first concert is going to be a little bit shorter because just by nature our pieces are a little bit shorter. But we're going to play a piece for you now, Jingle Bells, that this was our first piece of music that we had that was quite lengthy for these kids. It took up almost an entire, I guess, half of a page of music, which doesn't sound like much maybe from where you're sitting, but for the kids who are used to playing one or two lines, a whole half of a page is quite a bit. And this was very challenging because this was the first time where we had not just 2 parts, but we had 3 or 4 different parts going on. It took a lot of work for these kids to get to this point. So this is Jingle Bells. We hope you enjoy. This has been kind of a challenging year for this group, and they probably don't even realize this, but since we've had so many cut days in Bethel this year, it really has put us as a band pretty far behind. And I'd say we're probably 2 or 3 weeks behind where we would normally be at this time of year, just because of all the cut days. We're playing a lot of catch up. And so our program is just a little bit shorter than it might be on a normal year. But these kids have really stepped up to the occasion and have been doing an outstanding job with 4 days on and 3 days off, still working really hard at developing some group unity and things like that. And I really appreciate their hard work with that. I'd like to take this time right now to recognize a few of these students who've just been doing an outstanding job above and beyond. And I could really recognize pretty much every student up here, but then it wouldn't be as meaningful. So I just would like to recognize 3 particular students for their outstanding achievements. The first one is for the most improved, and this is kind of a challenging one for me to choose because none of these students were playing an instrument when they began, so they've all improved tenfold. But this particular student has really made some remarkable changes just in the last month or 2, has been practicing very, very diligently, has been regularly turning in practice logs. If you don't know what a practice log is, parents, you probably should see me after the concert. Has been regularly turning in practice logs with way more minutes on it than is required. I'd like to recognize Craig Hahn for his efforts. The next award I'd like to give is for the most enthusiastic, and there's a lot of enthusiasm in 6th grade. It's kind of fun. You should stop by my class sometime and see it. But this particular student always has everything to give when he's playing his music. Is always very diligent, is regularly coming in after school to play in the band room after school, and just does an outstanding job. So I'd like to recognize Tribin Webb. And I'd like to give one final award. This is what I call the Director's Award. And I give this to the student who I feel just goes way above and beyond. And there's a lot of students I really could give this to. I had a very tough time deciding this particular person, but this person does really sparkle and stand out in my class, and I really appreciate having this student here. This student also is very diligent about practicing, regularly turns in practice logs, is very enthusiastic, and I'd like to recognize Breezy Kane. have one last piece for you. This is a very exciting piece for us to play because this was our very first piece of real sheet music. It's an entire page long. It's very, very challenging for these students, and they've done a great job just in the last few days learning this piece. So we really hope you enjoy Shockwave.